Some person who I also think is unnecessarily stoking fires and being antagonistic is Adam22. And for me personally, as a former fan of No Jumper, it's been really sad to see how No Jumper's devolved into this like gang platform essentially, right? It's not really about the music, it's not really about breaking new artists, it's not about really having a fun podcast live stream show. It's just about beef essentially. And Adam22 is always at the center of it. He's always responsible for, I think, interviewing people who have ops, interviewing their ops, you know, asking inflammatory police-like questions in interviews, just generally being a bit of a nuisance. And I think it's unnecessary, because I think there's a way you can run a channel that kind of talks about and glorifies kind of, you know, rap of a certain lineage, rap from the street, raps represents gangs, without stoking the fires, without fucking getting into the gang politics. And if you know anything about the West Coast, you know they're really serious about their gangs. They take gang banging very seriously. So if you know, fuck around, you'll find out. But for some reason, Adam22 seems to be impervious to finding out. A lot of people kind of give him the blight, maybe because he's white, I don't know. But I feel like the people around No Jumper who beef with each other, especially the black people, they have way more venom, they have way more way more aggression. They have way more anger towards someone that looks like themselves, as opposed to Adam22, who I feel like is an agent of chaos. I'm not fucking calling for people to, you know, enact violence on the guy, but I just find it odd how people are willing to crash out. They're willing to go to people's houses, meet people in Tubbs gyms, you know, do all sorts of manner of crazy shit, bring knives and guns and shit to the studio. But when it comes to Adam22, he seems to avoid all accountability when he does certain things. But I think this situation lately, where he kind of took the piss out of this drop your flag challenge, may be the one instance where he finally might get held accountable for his actions, because I thought this was incredibly unnecessary. If I'm not mistaken, this guy here down below, big up Urban Politics TV, this guy down below in the red hat is basically leading an initiative where he's encouraging a lot of people who are in gangs to drop their flag, which is essentially renouncing your gang and kind of embracing a life of, like, you know, legit whatever working, and kind of doing away with that kind of street violence gang shit. And I think it's a good cause, because it's very, you know, it's a very controversial thing as well. You know, there's no real getting out of gangs, but him doing it in his public way, it's inspiring a lot of guys to kind of drop their flag and kind of lead a far more better life. For some reason, Adam22 sees this, and instead of maybe inviting the guy onto his channel to interview him, to ask him about the whole drop your flag challenge, to ask him about his affiliations, his past, his history, whatever, he instead mocks the guy and turns it into a joke. Right, like takes the piss out of it, which leads to a whole lot of back and forth between him and Styles P and whatnot. But I was just looking at it thinking, like, what's wrong with this guy, man? Why does he do this? Is he doing this on purpose? Because just for the clicks and views? Does he have a death wish or something? Does he know? Does he think he's untouchable? Like, why does he do this all the time? It's so fucking out of order.
I publicly renounced the game. A lot of brothers been hitting me up like, yo, Hocus, I support what you're doing. I love it. Congratulations. I want to do the same, I just don't know how. Well, here's how. I'm going to tell you how. We're going to do it together. I'm starting to drop my flag challenge. And for all the brothers that want to do it, that have hit me up, or that didn't even say nothing to me, I'm going to need y'all to step forward and put your best foot forward and, you know, take that leap and lead the way. Because there's y'all got a lot of influence. I know, because I speak to y'all. Y'all got a lot of influence. And a lot of brothers will follow y'all down this path. If y'all just lead them down it, they just don't want to be judged, and it's okay. It's okay to not want to be judged, to be something for so long and not want to let it go. It's okay, but you gotta know what's good for you and what's not. And we all know, we all watch every single day. Every single day we watch it play out. There's never ending cycle of Ricos, conspiracy, murder. Gotta stop. It start with us. This is the time. This is the era to do it. I want to say
to all the people out
again, what's wrong with that message, right? It seems like a very sincere message. The guy's not fooling around. He doesn't look like a joke. He's not acting like a joke. He's not making it humorous. He's relaying a pretty serious, you know, question. He's driving a proper serious initiative, and he's helping people, right? He's probably going to save some lives in the process. I just don't get the mocking side of things. And also, he's not. This is Adam22 is not a comedian. He's not Drewski. He's not some skit guy. He, for some reason, decides to copy the thing and mock the whole thing. That's what you can hear now. You can hear Adam22 recording his own version of what that guy did in a mocky tone.
Out there, I ain't gangbanging no more. I've been GDBD Vice Lord for a long time now. Been doing battle with my ops, done battle with the police, put in work in the jails, but I decided I needed to change my life. Ever since the big homies caught me playing with my booty hole, they've been extorting me, $20K a month. I can't live like this no more, man. It's too expensive, and I'm ready to just be me. So I encourage everybody out there to do the Drop My Flag challenge and just and live your truth on the dead homies. So yeah, gangbanging is out. Carrot and myself is in.
You know what's really disgusting about this as well? If academics would have done that, if academics would have done what Adam22 did, the threats on his life would have been out of the world. There'll be on people on camera toting guns, pulling out machetes and all types of weapons. There'll be people going crazy on the fucking internet, spitting with fucking foam and crust all in the corners of their fucking mouth, veins popping in their forehead, talking about on the dead homies, on the dead this. If academics did this, if Poetic Flocko from the Jumper did this, just imagine the response. But because the guy's white, they kind of let him put it like that's. It's just this unnecessary. Like, for instance, across the board, the violence is bad, but this picking and choosing of who gets certain threats, who comes after certain people, is fucking insane. And in my opinion, I feel like Adam22 in particular has been getting away with it, which is why he feels more emboldened to do these type of things, because he knows a lot of these guys won't do nothing because they like him paying it. They like getting paid by Adam22 more than they want to kind of, you know, essentially tell him to kind of stop what he's doing. Because I've never heard one person complain about not getting paid for no jumper. You know, I've heard of people saying they might get underpaid or whatever, but I haven't heard of one person saying that they never got paid. It seems like they pay all their invoices on time, and also they employ a bunch of people who probably are unemployable anywhere else. Right? Look at someone like a Lush; he probably wouldn't be hired anywhere else if not the fucking no jumper. So maybe the reason why people act this way and kind of turn the blind eye to Adam22 is because there's no other place they could go to on that scale that would give them that opportunity to speak and to earn that money. But I think it's fucking annoying, and he just keeps getting worse and worse because nothing happens to him, unfortunately.
Peace. I seen something on New York drill officials, like a challenge to like drop your flag or whatever. So I was like impromptu. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna make like a funny version of that. So I did it. Now I got this dude, Hocus 4/5, who I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I heard his name before, but I never actually like knew anything about him. Never talked to him. Never met him. Never watched any content from him.
So if you didn't know him, you don't watch any content about him, why did you do the mocking thing then? Why do the parody? Why do the skit? Why take the piss out of it? If you have no recollection, no understanding, no awareness, no knowledge of that guy, as he says, which I don't believe him, but if that is what he's saying is true, then why do the mocking challenge? Just leave the guy alone. Leave him and his challenge alone. It's got nothing to do with you. You're not gangbanging. You're not involved in a gang. You're not an active gangbanger in any way, shape or form. Just keep scrolling. If anything, that guy would have been a perfect guest to have on No Jumper, really, think about it, right? With the obsession that fucking Adam22 seems to have with fucking gang life anyway, having somebody on that's kind of renouncing his gang, dropping his flag, would have been a pretty good interview to kind of counterbalance or to contrast a lot of the people that are active gangbangers who are on that show. But instead, he wants to take the piss.
I don't know anything about him, but apparently he's like a guy. I guess it's his challenge, which I didn't really perceive, because when I looked at it, I watched like 7 videos in a row on New York drill officials. So yeah, I mean, he's pushing this narrative that like I'm making fun of him or calling him gay for dropping his flag or whatever. I don't even know you to like make a joke about you. So just wanted to get in front of that one. I thought it was kind of funny, I'm gonna be real, but if you want to quit being in a gang, that's cool. You could do that. We don't really do that in LA, I guess. Yo.
What do you mean we? We don't really do that in LA. You're not in a fucking gang, you fucking dope. Honestly, anytime we've seen him in a physical altercation too, we've seen how he fucking conducts himself. And let's just say he doesn't really conduct himself in a gang-worthy way, you would imagine, right? He's very, very quick to kind of squirm and cover his face. He doesn't, you know what I mean? Doesn't do anything. Like, about we. That's not what we do in LA. We. Honestly, man, I don't know. Stuff like this just angers me because, like I said, I think if academics does that, if Poetic Flocko does that, you know, the timeline is on fire. The timeline is on fire if any of those guys fucking do that. God forbid Jason Lee, Charlemagne the God, all these guys, if they do exactly the same thing Adam22 does, these guys are jumping out of their bodies to threaten these guys, jumping out of their bodies to kind of make sure that they know that their lives are in danger for daring to threaten their precious gangs. But a white person does it, everyone turns a blind eye. Everyone fucking turns a blind fucking eye.